And welcome back to the Summer Dueling League. Here we got Jack Dandy against Eno, and I gotta tell you, I'm looking forward to this one. These are a couple of heavy hitters. So this is once again from the perspective of Eno, who kindly provided his capture for us. Once again with his triple incendiary rocket pack. He's a triple incendiary rocket monstrosity is what he is. Let's see what Jack Dandy brings to the table. Jack Dandy bringing the SMS. That is one thing that I remember from my time fighting him. But Eno able to set up a wall of flaming rockets for him to skate into. Jack Dandy with an early fire, and he gets one. There you go. He's able to ping Eno and get the victory there. Jack Dandy's one of these guys who can really utilize his mobility, particularly against such a slow gear like what Eno's sporting. That's the thing with rockets, man. Against a fast target, it is hard to use them effectively, but Eno's got a radar lock on him and is able to anticipate his moves and once again set the trap. Get used to seeing these buildings because we're going to see them a lot. Eno can't get too far away from him. Doesn't have the speed. Jack Dandy, on the other hand, by now could be anywhere and happens to be there. That's unfortunate. Great shot from Eno, able to get him to go in between those objects and use them to help with the splash damage. Alright, so we're once again trying to utilize the buildings here, get different angles, be a little bit evasive or as much as we can. Jack Dandy had the same idea, but he wasn't expecting him there. He was looking and scanning into the middle of the arena. Did not expect to stumble upon Eno there, but Eno got the jump on him and got the victory. Well, we got visual, we got hits, we got shooting, and we got a kill. Once again, Jack Dandy is using a heavy autocannon. That's a very heavy weapon. It's great for. It's even really good for fighting against a gear like what Eno is using, the Den Mother. But Eno's able to maneuver somehow, and he can also tank a few of those hits. Trying to shoot over him, I think those are going to overshoot. Oh no, that was about the right range. That was some good indirect fire and some good direct fire right after to get the victory. He was sparking. Jack Dandy did manage to get some hits on him, but it wasn't enough. Coming around, going toward the pitcher's mound in the middle, and Eno pitching some fiery rockets at Jack Dandy. Jack Dandy able to evade, but coming out the other side, Jack is probably not going to make that same mistake again. The thing about secondary movement system is that its momentum tends to carry you in a straighter line than normal. It's harder to stop, harder to turn. So Jack Dandy, it was a decent anticipation, a decent prediction that he would just come out the other side. See, there you go. You can already have proof that Jack Dandy wasn't going to make the same mistake because he was able to turn and come out the way he came in. We're using the cover, we're using the trees. Gotta be careful with those rockets, though. You can blow yourself up if you're not careful with that. Good maneuverability, good mobility from Jack Dandy, but great anticipation from Eno. When you're in SMS mode, you really want to just pin the throttle and just go. You think that speed is going to save you, and it can. But speed can kill you too, because it can cut down on your ability to fake out the other guy to anticipate him. Jack Dandy gets some hits in, tries to break and run for it, run for the hills, but Eno's able to really successfully guide those rockets in on target. Jack Dandy making a beeline for him now. You have to balance speed and maneuverability. That's one of the great challenges. Oh, he's behind him. Yeah, it was over. When you have neither speed nor mobility, you can get yourself in a situation like that. It's a good kill from Jack Dandy. Could he turn the corner here? Could he turn this one around? It's a tough one. See, there he goes again. Oh, but you see what he was doing. He did correct his mistake. It's just a shame that he peeked out a little bit and he got too close. He didn't have a plan for afterwards. But you see him adapting. That's 10-2. That's it. That's the round. And we'll see you on the next one. That's a good round to eat. Alright, on to the next round. Back in the caverns. This is a duelist favorite. My personal favorite aspect of this one is the Microsoft Windows blue screen of death that peeks out from beyond the fog. So Jack Dandy is heavily reliant on his secondary movement system. Let's see what that does for him. Not a lot there. Oh. What happened? Oh, something's up. Did we not go into duelist mode or what? Yeah. Something happened. So here's what happened. It looks like they forgot to select duelist mode, or some glitch perhaps happened. And so after reviewing what happens for the rest of this round, I'll tell you that they are going to count these first 2 kills. So you are going to, at the final scoreboard, you're going to add 1 kill on each of their scores, and that will be the final. Alright, on to the next round. Let's see if Jack Dandy can turn this one around. Interesting tactic here, opting for using active sensors, which would present a bigger radar picture for Jack Dandy to detect him. That of course would be the case if Jack Dandy had any sensors to speak of. My understanding is that he stripped all the sensors out of his gear in order to utilize or to invest in other parts of it. And he got stuck on the top of the hill there, trying to shoot down. Got some hits in on Eno, but able to shoot him down at the end from below the hill, from a not an advantageous position. So here we go, using the hill now with rockets. Elevation is key. That's really good anticipation shooting. I would reckon that one of those rockets at least did some damage to Jack Dandy. A good peek there. He's able to get out of the way in time. Oh, did he get out of the way that time? Just managed to get out of the way that time. Eno looks stuck, but that won't be a problem for him. He was looking in the right spot. Jack Dandy couldn't change the angle enough to deceive him. Eno was able to bring those rockets to bear in a very effective way. So it's 2-0 so far to Eno. And we are doing some indirect rocket fire. Not effective yet, but a good idea. Probably some hits there, I think. Jack Dandy. Oh, no, Jack Dandy's around the other side. And just snipes him. That was quite the shot there. Eno did get himself stuck in the water. But that was a really quick takedown from Jack Dandy. Inspiring stuff. It's just 2-1. It's still anyone's match. Trying to see if he can up his stealth a little bit. That ain't gonna happen, buddy. You are on active sensors, and you are in the heaviest gear that probably we've seen so far in the tournament. Or if not, then you're not that much lighter than the heaviest. You are not stealthy, and you don't need to be. But it's interesting. You like to see guys try new stuff. You never know what's gonna hit. Some rocket fire behind Jack Dandy, who zips around effectively, shoots. Eno takes cover in an effective manner, but he's kind of stuck. Let's see if Jack Dandy can take advantage. He does, gets a critical hit. Oh, good peek. He gets out of the way before the rockets can come close to him, and he does some good damage. That's a good trade for Jack Dandy. Let's see if he can capitalize. Coming out on the other end, looking in the wrong spot. Oh no, the rockets were too much. That's just so much damage. That's so much damage. And certainly Jack Dandy's gear is not as heavy or heavily armored as Eno's. So Eno will kind of stop here, wait and see, peek. Use the janky night vision. There's Jack Dandy for all the world to see. Get out of the way, Jack. What are you doing, buddy? Some shots. Some of those had to have hit him. That could not have felt good. I wonder if Jack Dandy's hurting from it. He's up on the hill now. Just peeking, biding his time. Maybe he wants to draw him into the water. That would not be a bad move, but I think Jack Dandy's pretty smart. And he's not taking the bait. He's staying up high. He does have the range and accuracy advantage in theory. So that's a smart play, knowing that Eno's going to hang back. Him hanging back like that's good. Zipping around, still shooting. Not letting off the pressure is Jack Dandy. That's good stuff from him. Coming around the other side. Up the slope, manages to escape. Turn Jack. Oh, he turns. It's for and heads for the hills very effectively. Good use of your extra mobility and popped out. Caught Eno with his pants down. Great shot. So Jack Dandy kind of figuring out a way into this match. 3-2. It is still up for grabs. Now it might be Eno's turn to innovate, if you will. And jumping up the hill here, a little peek. Jack Dandy on the hill. You gotta get off that hill, buddy. That's too much rocket fire. Yeah, and there was a slope behind him, which just presented the perfect canvas for which, upon which Eno could paint his beautiful incendiary rocket pack portrait. And unfortunately, Jack Dandy was in the way there. Looking around the corner of these hills, Jack Dandy once again opting for the hill. Again, in theory, not a bad move. It is hard from that position to get some indirect rocket fire to come down because there is a roof to this map, interestingly. So Jack Dandy using the height, as long as Eno's far away, that's not a bad move because, like I said, Jack Dandy theoretically has the accuracy and range advantage for the most part. And Eno playing dirty. That was some high level tech there to get the speed run hop across the water quickly. So now he's in Jack Dandy's territory. He's encroaching. He is an invader. Jack Dandy is going to have to swat this mosquito before it's too late. And let's see if he does it. Oh, and Jack Dandy gets bitten. That's a shame. Gotta get some calamine lotion for that, pal. Here we go. Once again, creeping toward each other. Jack Dandy kind of showing himself early. I don't know if Eno picked up on that. He's up on the hill. Again, that's going to be the tactic. That's very effective. He's able to keep him at bay. Those are some good rocket shots. I'll tell you what, that's about the window you want to aim for to get those rockets to drop more or less on Jack Dandy. There's an unsuccessful wall kick. Jack Dandy still pelted away. And there he goes, moves out of the way of the rockets. Very good maneuvering. And we're jumping over the water in a conventional manner. We are trying to encroach once again. Jack Dandy turning the corner, looking to get a good shot on. Let's see if he can do it. He waits. He's in a good position. Some of those rockets are hard to get on target, and he's getting his heavy autocannon shots on target. His armor's whittled down. Those are good shots. That's unlucky to not get the kill already. Oh, he comes around the other way. That's good stuff. And he's out of ammo, so he was trying to close in for the melee kill, but it was not going to happen. That's unfortunate. But you got to hand it to Jack Dandy for just going for it at that point. 6-2. Eno is widening the gap here. Let's see what happens. This is an exciting one. Jack Dandy really figuring out a tactic that works for a while, but Eno able to adapt. Now it's going to really need another adaptation soon. Eno misjudges that wall kick. He's in the middle of the water. If Jack Dandy can get a picture of him when he's not looking, he can just about take him out, but he won't in time. Still, he can get the jump on him. Eno just is still piloting a slow gear, and look who got the jump on him. Jack Dandy saw him though at the last minute, able to just avoid those rockets, get some shots in, didn't hit him. Once again, he got hit that time. That had to have hurt, and that's a kill for Eno. Good work. Good work there. Jack Dandy's gonna have to adjust now. Eno's figured out a counter to his new tactic. Jack Dandy's got it in him. Definitely has got it in him to do that. Still opting for the hill. Still not a bad way to go for the early stage. Knowing that you can get to that hill before Eno rounds the corner means that is a good first step. I don't think that he should abandon that, because theoretically he does have that accuracy and range advantage, knowing that when Eno gets close he needs to make a run for it. That's some good stuff. But now what? Now what? We got step 1 and step 2. Now what's step 3? He's taking down Eno. We all want to know. Oh, he found out. He took out his fire control, and that's gonna help. We'll see if it's enough for him to finish the job here, for Jack Dandy to finish the job with Eno's now crippled fire control in play. Still not a bad move going for the hill, because he has to shoot up. Oh, but Eno is able to get him as he descends the hill. Perhaps Jack should have backed off instead, but when you got that speed, it's so tempting to just go for speed, you know? And he really does have the speed advantage, but it's not proving effective in the face of Eno's just crazy firepower. Oh, Jack Danny got the jump on him, going for the other hill. That's pretty good. A little bit of a tricky move. Excuse me. And Eno looking for him. Let's see. Jack Dandy at this point could be anywhere. He's got enough speed that he could be anywhere. That's a decent attempt on a wall kick to cross that gap there. It didn't work out this time, though. Kind of put him more or less where he was when he started. But you can see that as a viable tactic here, to use the movement a little bit. Eno, what are you doing? Are you turning away? Jack Dandy. Okay, Jack saw him, took some shots. Those shots did not seem to land. Eno's going to close the gap using speedrun tech. That was not the optimal version of it. He's going to do it again. That is much better. That is much better. What a janky game, man. Jack Dandy able to disappear once again. That really is his main advantage. And you see him, he is adapting. He's trying to stay scarce. Oh, some indirect rocket fire. That's a little bit short. Jack Dandy going around. Now they've switched sides. They've essentially taken each other's spawn point positions. Eno with a good jump there, but lands in the water on the other side. That's going to be tough to get out of in time. Jack Dandy with a good opportunity, but Eno also with some decent opportunities, getting those shots in. Move, Jack. Jack moves right in time. That is really good anticipation and timing. Eno's out of ammo, but I wonder how much ammo Jack Dandy has. It can't be that much. These boys are some dry boys. Oh, Jack Dandy eats a punch to the face, but still manages to execute Eno with that heavy autocannon. So we'll see if Jack Dandy stays with that technique of just staying as unseen as possible. Eno's back to passive sensors, so it seems like his active sensor tactic wasn't that effective. Using the wall kick, seeing him at the last minute. Jack Dandy can cover ground so fast. He's on top of that hill, lickety split, and just guns down Eno. Uh-oh. It's 4-8 now. It's it could be getting interesting. There's Jack Dandy on the hill. Jack will avoid those rockets effectively. That's just so much rocket power to bear. You know what I mean? Wiggity, wiggity, wiggity. Get some grindage. Major biff. And some shots from Jack that do not land. Kind of like my rocket power jokes. Looking around the corner. Good shot. I did not see that coming. That was something else. That was a very good snipe. Good anticipation. Jack Danny this time with the clairvoyance. So this is getting kind of interesting, eh? Jack Danny just presenting a little bit of an enticement for Eno, and Eno able to Jack Danny not able to avoid those rockets. Eno was looking right at him. The clairvoyance sliding all the way back to Eno there. Him anticipating coming out the other end. But as I said before, we're adding 1 onto each of their score, which means this one goes 10-6 for Eno. Great round, boys. Thank you for that, and we'll catch you on the next fight.